Is it realistic to make over $100,000 a year in human resources? Yes, I'm here to tell you, yes, it is. It is very realistic. I would say within your first 5 years, you really can break through that $100,000 a year mark. And I have outlined 5 steps. These are the 5 steps that I took to be able to break through that $100,000 a year mark within my first 5 years of being in HR. I've been in HR for 15 years now, and some of the things I did in my early career in order to break into it, I didn't start in human resources when I got out of college. My degree was not an HR related degree, and I do think that you can break $100,000 a year really without a college degree if you follow these 5 steps. First is understand the role. What is human resources? You really need to think about this from more of a strategic lens than a transactional lens. When I first got into HR, people said, oh, you hire and fire, and really HR is so much more than that. Think about some of the key areas in a more strategic standpoint, like talent acquisition, workforce planning, performance management and succession planning and career development, organizational development, managing compensation and benefit strategies. Step 2 is gain applicable knowledge. With this, you really don't have to have a bachelor's or a master's degree in order to, 1, break into HR, and 2, to get to that $100,000 a year mark. It may be something as you get into it and you start progressing that you do want to do, but it really is not required in order to kickstart your career. If you already have one, that's great. I ended up going back to school after I was in HR for maybe 5 or 6 years. I did go back and get my master's degree in HR because I really wanted to continue to get into executive level roles. So I felt like investing in a master's degree was important once I got past that $100,000 a year mark. But I really don't think it's necessary for you to do in order to, 1, get started, and 2, to break through that $100,000 a year salary. So a couple things that you can do is there are certificate programs online through universities like Cornell. They offer eCornell. That is what I did. Although I had a bachelor's degree, I didn't have anything related to HR. So in order to be credible, I did do an online certification program in human resources management through eCornell. So that is one thing to do. There's a lot of online universities that you can do certificate programs to add to your resume, add more credibility, and really kickstart your career in HR. Another thing that wasn't offered when I got into HR is the HRCI's APHR certification. This is a knowledge-based certification. So it is Associate Professional in Human Resources, and this does not require a certain level of education or a certain amount of professional level experience like the other certifications that they offer. So this is really a great one to look into as well. Step 3 is gain experience. There are a couple ways you can do this. If you're currently in college, you can apply for an internship program. If you are out of college and maybe you're already working, you can also apply to some entry-level positions. Now, just remember, you most likely will not have to be in one of these entry-level positions for long, but it's a great place to break in, start getting some experience. Some of those positions might be an HR administrator, an HR assistant, a benefits administrator. So those are some of the entry-level positions that you can get into, and this is really where you're going to be able to build your resume. You're going to be able to get some experience. If you're working for an HR director or a VP of HR, this is where you're really going to be able to start asking for more, giving more input, showing that you can be more strategic, you can think as a business partner versus somebody that is just doing transactional work, entering data, those types of things. So it's really great to get your foot in the door with an entry-level position. Step 4 is to build your network. I cannot emphasize how important this is. There's a couple things that you can do for this. One is to join a professional organization like SHRM. With that, you can join your local chapter, you can go to lunch and learns, attend conferences. In this, you're gonna really be able to get to know other people in the HR field. You may meet somebody who is a director or a VP that is looking for an HR assistant to break into one of those entry-level positions that I mentioned before. Another thing is to build your network on LinkedIn. This, for me, has really helped me throughout my career. Almost every single position that I have had as I've progressed really has been through somebody reaching out to me through LinkedIn. So a lot of HR specialized recruiters have reached out to me, and that's really how I have progressed through my career and leveled up every single time. So I really wasn't blind applying to roles. I have had people reach out to me through my network. So very, very critical. I think this is one of the key areas and a key thing that you can do to continue to move through your career. Step 5 is keep your resume updated. This is really, really critical because as you're doing all of your networking, you never know when somebody might reach out to you, and you want to be sure that you have that resume updated and ready to go so you can just shoot it off to them at a moment's notice, and you're not forgetting or trying to think of things at the last minute to add to it, or I'll get it to you in a couple days. You don't want to do that. You want to be able to send it right over at a moment's notice. So I hope that these tips have given you an idea, maybe some confidence to kickstart your HR career if this is something you've been thinking about. Maybe you are in an HR career, but you have been struggling to really break through that $100,000 a year mark. Some of these tips might be helpful for you as well. And like I said, I have been in HR for 15 years. I am here to help other HR professionals accelerate their career as well. So be sure to let me know if there's additional information that you would like, questions that you have. I'm really here to help you and really love seeing people be successful in HR. I think it's an extremely rewarding career and really looking forward to helping you in yours. Talk to you soon. Bye.